Oh baby, it's the month that everybody's been talking about for quite a while. I remember people were talking back in like October of last year that February 2022 was going to be one of the best months for game releases in quite a while because there are so many big budget games coming out, so many games that people are really looking forward to. Namely, two games I think are taking away the attention from a lot of the other games, but they're two of the biggest game releases of the year, so kind of to be expected. But on top of those two, you got a lot of other games rounding out the lineup. We've got a lot of great games to go over in this video. Gonna be looking at the biggest PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 game releases of February 2022. Long time coming, so let's just get right into it. And let's start things off with Horizon Forbidden West. Really, was there any other way to start things off if it's a PlayStation-centric video? Horizon Forbidden West is one of the hotly anticipated PlayStation exclusives coming in 2022. You know, if you want to say that you're more excited about this than God of War, if you want to say you're more excited about God of War, you can go either way, but it's 1A, 1B here we're talking about in Horizon Forbidden West. Personally speaking, I am more excited for Horizon, more so than God of War. Why is that? Well, Horizon's a little bit more fresh in my mind. I actually replayed it last year and I had a fantastic time with it. Just love the story of the game. I love Aloy as a main character, and you know, and open world games are right up my alley, so this is going to be one I can't wait to get into. And I love the fact that Guerrilla Games knows they delivered a banger with Horizon Zero Dawn. However, they also realize there's more depth they can add to the gameplay. There's more nuances they can add, and that's really what they're doing with Horizon Forbidden West. Every bit of detail and information they're putting out about the game harkens back to the fact that they're going to be adding more variety to the gameplay. How you tackle everything in the game, whether it be human or machine, it's gonna have a variety of ways you can tackle the game. Obviously, with the narrative, you can go a lot of different ways with Horizon Zero Dawn's story and how that ended and everything they put on the table with that game. Forbidden West is gonna expand upon that, and we already know that there's another Horizon game in the works. Call of the Mountain, that'll be on VR2, and I wouldn't be surprised if this sets the table for another game at some point. For now, Horizon Forbidden West will be dropping February 18th of 2022. Next up, another game that's been a long time coming. It is From Software's Elden Ring. We are 7 weeks away as of the recording of this video until the release of Elden Ring. It's coming February 25th, but people have been looking forward to this since the original announcement. I want to say going back to E3 of 2019. It's been a long time coming as well. We're taking the Souls formula, we're dropping it in an open world. We've got George R. R. Martin's influence in the game as well. It's got the makings to not only be that Souls game we know and love, but also taking it into an open world can add a lot of variety to the gameplay, much like Horizon. And then when you have George R. R. Martin, I mean, the narrative is going to be something that's going to be interesting to monitor as well. So far, the gameplay we've seen has looked fantastic, and at the end of it, I think we're in for a special game. I mean, when you look at a studio's track record, you have your Guerrilla Games of the world, you have your Insomniacs of the world, and From Software is right up there with the best studios on the planet. And if you want to put From Software at number one, by all means. When you look at what they did with Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Sekiro, Bloodborne, it's been banger after banger after banger, and really, if we're betting on it, I would imagine that Elden Ring would be a heavy favorite to be yet another banger. The game is out February 25th. Also, right up there with the anticipation level of the aforementioned two titles, you gotta give it to Dying Light 2 Stay Human. It's been a long time coming for this as well. After going through a couple delays, Dying Light 2 will finally be dropping on February 4th, and Dying Light 1 was one of the better games on the PlayStation 4. It dropped all the way back in 2015, and it was really one of the first showcases of the technical achievements of the console. Visually, it looked great. Performance-wise, it was pretty good. With Dying Light 2 Stay Human, a PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 release will be happening, so handcuffs coming off hopefully on the PS5. And the game itself, again, an emphasis on that parkour gameplay. You've got decision making in the game as well. Really hope it's strong from a narrative standpoint as well. Had some development turmoils, but I think Techland is going to deliver something solid with Dying Light 2. It is coming next month on February 4th. Definitely hope that they can get past some of the development woes that this game has gone through. Next up for PlayStation owners, another pretty notable release, that is Sifu. This is coming from the studio Slow Clap. Slow Clap, if you're familiar with them, they actually did the game Absolver, which is a game that definitely had its issues, but I think they set the foundation of what they could do, and hopefully with Sifu, it's a natural evolution. And Sifu is the story of a young kung fu student on a path of revenge, hunting for the murderers of his family. One against all, he has no allies and countless enemies. He has to rely on his unique mastery of kung fu as well as a mysterious pendant to prevail and preserve his family's legacy. The hunt for your enemies will take you through the hidden corners of the city, from the gang-ridden suburbs to the cold hallways of the corporate towers. You've got one day and countless enemies on your way. For every mistake, time will be the price to pay. Careful positioning is going to be a big part of the game, clever use of the environment as well, so going to have a little bit of strategy attached to the game as well. The game will be priced at $40, which is a price point a lot of these, smaller low-key releases have been going with. That might be a little bit of a pushback for some people. Maybe people are going to wait on a sale. I'm excited for the game, hoping for the best. Sifu is due out on February the 8th. Next up, we have the latest from the long-running SNK fighting game franchise. We have the King of Fighters 15. This is a game that I think got a lot of attention thanks to its beta testing, and a lot of people got super into it. The game's going to have 39 playable characters, and it's a slick, stylish fighting game. I mean, King of Fighters has been around for so long and has been one of the predominant fighting game franchises. Super consistent, and every outing has been relatively good. Enjoyed my time with King of Fighters 14, and hopefully King of Fighters 15 with its upbeat presentation, great music, slick fighting style. Again, something to be excited for. King of Fighters 15 is due out on February the 17th. Next up, the latest entry in a long-running racing game franchise. We have Grid Legends coming out February 25th. This one isn't getting a lot of fanfare right now, but Codemasters has been one of the more consistent racing game developers in a long time. With Grid Legends, they note delivering a thrilling wheel-to-wheel motorsport action, create dream race events, hop into live races, experience a dramatic visual production story, and embrace the sensation of spectacular racing. Grid is a franchise that's been around for a while. However, as far as some of the premier racing game franchises go, it's kind of fallen to the wayside a little bit. Hopefully gets more so prominent when Grid Legends does drop on February the 24th. Next up, we have a PC release making the transition to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. That is Unbound Worlds Apart. This is a visually gorgeous game, definitely giving you some resemblance to a game like Ori and the Blind Forest. A game came out back in July on PC, 418 Steam user reviews, 88% positive reviews. Summon portals to overcome vicious beasts, devious puzzles, and fiendish platforming challenges. Master the unique powers of each portal to stop the collapse of reality while exploring lush, hand-drawn worlds and unraveling a deep narrative full of mysteries. If you're a fan of atmospheric platformers with great art styles, definitely one to keep an eye on. It's going to be a lower key release, maybe one you'll have to wait on a sale for, but something to add to the wish list for sure. It is out on February 9th. Next up, if you're a JRPG fan, definitely something to keep on your radar. That is Edge of Eternity. Edge of Eternity dropped on PC back in June of last year, and now it's finally making the transition to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Game got a kind of a mixed reception, 2,541 Steam reviews, 78% of those reviews were positive, but more recently, it has gotten a mixed reception on Steam. The game notes wage epic turn-based battles as you follow Darian and Celine on their quest to find a cure to the all-consuming corrosion in this grand tale of hope and sacrifice, created by a small team of passionate JRPG lovers, that being Midgar Studio. Visually, the game does look very good. While created by a small studio, has a visual resemblance to that of a higher budget game. It notes an enthralling story filled with plot twists and heart-wrenching moments, a gorgeous fantasy world to explore, epic battles with a unique and strategic turn-based combat system, charismatic and unforgettable characters, stunning soundtrack featuring Yasunori Mitsuda of Chrono Trigger and Xenoblade Chronicles fame, and 50+ hours of gameplay. Edge of Eternity will be making the transition to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 come February the 10th. Next up, another JRPG. This one is Monark. This one, again, going very under the radar, but I was captivated by the trailer I got. Maybe it was just the music of it, but nevertheless, could you face yourself and the threats around you to save the ones you love? Shin Mikado Academy is engulfed in a madness-inducing mist, and only you can save everyone inside. Develop your ego to break the packs by the pack bearers and remove the corrupting mist. The game definitely has a visual style reminiscent of a lot of other JRPGs. Check out the trailer for yourself, and if you're a fan of turn-based strategy RPGs, maybe something that you'll end up really enjoying. It's an NIS America release, and those usually go a little bit under the radar, but definitely have their hardcore supporters, and I think Monark is going to be no different. The game is out on February 22nd. Let's round this list out with a couple of horror titles. Martha is Dead is the first one, and the one that I am particularly looking forward to. This one looks super trippy and is more of a mind-bending psychological thriller and a horror title. Martha is Dead is a dark first-person psychological thriller set in 1944 Italy that blurs the lines between reality, superstition, and the tragedy of war. Martha is Dead and her twin sister Guila and the younger daughter of a German soldier must alone deal with the acute trauma of loss and the fallout from her murder. The hunt for the truth is shrouded by mysterious folklore and the extreme horror of war that draws even closer. This is one that has a backdrop of war that is looking to really add a bleak ambiance to it. You can collect newspapers, telegrams, and listen to the radio to keep updated with what is occurring on in the world during the war, while you also have this focused narrative that is unraveling. I think it's a cool way to do the game. Let's see how it turns out. Very, very trippy and not for the faint of heart. It's coming February 24th. And lastly, maybe one horror game that's going to be up more people's alley. Evil Dead, the game, is coming to the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, a bunch of other platforms as well. This is coming from Saber Interactive, a co-op and PvP horror title that looks like an arcade fun horror title, and one that probably won't scare you too much. It's not going for that psychological style, but it's a game that you could probably have a lot of fun with, especially if you're playing with a couple of friends. Evil Dead, the game, is scheduled for release sometime next month. We don't have an official release date, but we will keep you guys posted. And that's going to do it for me. Again, February is packed with a lot of big releases. Maybe a little bit top-heavy, but when you got games like Horizon, Elden Ring, Dying Light 2, Sifu, and all of the other smaller games also dropping next month, I think there's reason to be excited. If you expand from just PlayStation, you're looking at game releases like Lost Ark as well. Major releases. And again, King of Fighters 15, of course. I gotta mention that. That's a big release. But that's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.